Welcome to the Growth with AI podcast, hosted by Integrated AI Services. I'm Peter Martinson, and today's episode dives into how AI is reshaping digital marketing, search strategy, and creative performance. Our guest today is Kevin Pike, founder and president of Rank Fuse Digital Marketing, a Kansas City-based agency known for blending SEO expertise, content strategy, and data-driven advertising to deliver measurable growth. Kevin, it's great to have you here.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks for having me. And thanks for that nice introduction. That was awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. So tell me your story. How did you start doing what you're doing now for your own firm?
Yeah. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I consider myself an accidental agency owner. I'm one of those people who never thought I would own my own digital marketing agency, but been doing it now for 10 years. So we must be doing something right. Before that, I was always in digital marketing. I started off very early in the 2000s doing Google ads back when I think Google was like $200 a share back then. And I thought that was expensive. And little did I know when I was 20, whatever, that Google would become Google. We were still doing Yahoo and Meva ads back then. So I'm kind of an old dog in the digital marketing world. I've done enough SEO audits, website development projects to be dangerous in about all facets. So right now, my agency is going through a lot of AI changes. We have a content team, we have a development team, we have a paid media team, and all of those areas are getting touched. And so we can dive into any one of those and talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Cool. Well, let's start at a higher level. So the whole company. So you founded, Rank Fuse, like you said, about 10 years ago, and it's grown into a full service digital marketing agency. But when did you first begin integrating AI tools into your workflows, and why did you decide to do that?
Just recently, I would say AI really wasn't even on my radar a year and a half ago. What I stumbled into was, how do you incorporate AI correctly? And I have some theories and some thoughts on that. I think I put a LinkedIn post on this about this yesterday, actually. I think that your CRM and your marketing automation platform should be your hub for AI. Some people might think it might be your website or it might be something else, right? And I'm like, if your backbone is not solidly foundationally DNA leveled for AI, you might be on the wrong platform. I know HubSpot's trying to bolt on AI, Salesforce, Pardot, Acton, all of them, right? They're like, "Oh yeah, we do AI." And we've discovered that the ones that can really do it well are the ones that are doing cookie level, metadata level AI. So you're not losing some of the things that you might lose passing a Zap or just name, email, phone. If you're really incorporating AI at the level that all the agents that you might want to employ can do, that means chat, your telephone, your voice, your SMS, your social media. If that's all not coordinating correctly and you're kind of Frankenstacking or Frankensteining your technology together, I think that's where we kind of come in and say, we did it for ourselves. We have a CRM and we have an AI system that does that. If we can do it, I think everybody else can do it, and we can help you get there.
Okay. So how do you decide? I mean, outside of CRM, how do you decide which AI technologies are worth adopting and which just seem like buzzwords or buzz tools right now? Is there a criteria you have, or like, does it have to link into your CRM to make it worth it?
No, we're kind of CRM agnostic. I think as long as it works, we're happy, right? We're here to provide a service and solutions that make people, at least their businesses, run better. So if it is one of the systems that they're already on and they can just amplify it, turn on the right, features, that's awesome. Um, and if we've never heard of, we don't have a CRM. Like if it's like a startup or some small company that's just like, we're still on spreadsheets, then we have solutions there that might be, we like high level. I'll say we're kind of one of those high level agencies right now that is like, you could spend a lot of money, but things are becoming more of a commodity. So why spend a ton? Get an unlimited CRM that does everything. Um, so yeah, I think we kind of just do that double dutch thing where like whatever is going on in your business, how can we kind of get in and kind of find that rhythm with you and we can either bolt things on or come up with brand new ideas.
Gotcha. Okay. So, today versus, 2 years ago, since you said you really sort of became aware of AI a year and a half ago or so, um, how do you measure results differently today than you did pre-incorporating AI? Do you have different metrics or different KPIs, or are the client results still the same regardless of the technology?
That's a good question. And I really have to kind of like bifurcate the answer in two worlds, at least in my world, the marketing and advertising world. In is AI bringing you more sales, more leads, more website traffic, more LLM source like rankings? Like one of the things that we didn't have like a year ago was like we had like SEM Rush and Ahrefs, and they're starting to get into the AI game, but we didn't really have LLM monitoring software that would go out daily and check how's my brand ranking on this prompt and all 100 prompts that I care about. We have those tools now, and we can very easily put in competitors and go, you were here and now you're here. And these are all the things that we did to get you to the top 5 or the number 1 spot. That is very transactional, like, you know, services and software in, how am I ranking, how am I getting more traffic and leads and sales out. That's really part of it. When we get into the other AI measurement side of like automation and AI agents for your business, that's completely separate. That's more like how much time am I saving? And we're not really here to replace, I think, the humans that know how to use AI and know how to use AI agents, just make themselves better and free up more time for them to go do other KPIs that probably matter more. Like how many phone calls do you answer? Might be an important call center metric, but it's probably not that important for sales or your front, for like a front desk receptionist. It's like you can kind of let AI do some of these things and you have more important things to go do. So I think that's really where we would just measure time save. Do you have to email that person to book a meeting or does AI do it for you? Do you have to request somebody to leave you an online review, or does AI do that for you? Those are little things that take 2 minutes here, 3 minutes there, but you don't wanna have to look them up, log into your email system, find them, it just AI can make it so much faster and easier, and you don't have to, think about it. That's harder to measure, but I think business owners feel it pretty quickly when they're like, "Oh, yeah, I have more hours in my day now."
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, is there an issue at your company with, any fear of people being replaced because these tools, are able to do some of these jobs, or do the people in your company really enjoy the fact that now they have more time to be creative instead of, doing the drudge work?
It's The answer might changed over the last year, to be honest with you. I think a good example is a content writer, somebody who's in content, somebody who went to college and was like, "I didn't have AI. I had to write all my own papers. I had to do all my own book reports. These kids these days are cheating." And I feel like that they kinda had this like, I'm not really into AI. This is like a hack or it's gonna take my job." And, I think we've done a good enough job to say it's a tool in your tool belt. It can help you get off a blank page. It can help you research. It can help you expedite a process and a procedure that we may have. And it may help us scale or pass along some savings to our customers. We might have used to charge a lot more for what we can do now. Uh, you're going to have a job. You're gonna be able to do more things more efficiently, faster, and better, and if you are resistant to AI, you may not have a job, but if you have the openness to it and you look at it as the tool in your tool belt and it can help you do your job better, then yeah, go do all the things that make you grow bigger, better, faster.
Yeah. It is impressive the amount of research you can do really fast, but I have learned the hard way to not only ask LLMs for their sources, but also to very often go back and check their sources because
Mhm. Yeah,
it's been interesting some of the places that, in my case, I primarily use ChatGPT where it just makes up stuff. And when you ask it, well, why did you make that up? It's like, well, I wanted an answer, so I came up with something to give to you. Oh, gosh. All right. I have to continue following up on the sources to make sure that they're legitimate.
you're right. Yeah, you're 100% right. I think it's I've done like some like multi spreadsheet, multi things, trying to ask it complex questions, and it'll just give you an answer, and then I go peel back a little corner just to make sure it's not wrong, and I'm like, what are you doing? And it's just like, I'm just trying to be your friend, and I'm like, I don't need a friend right now. I need you to be accurate. Um, one of my favorite, if you play with Notebook LM from Google,
I've heard of it. I haven't actually played with it yet.
it's it's a little different. It's wicked smart, but that's my Boston accent. Sorry. You give it the sources. Like you can give it a video, an MP3. You can give it a website. You can give it something like here. This is the this is your bookends. You know everything in the middle, and now I can ask you my questions because you're not going to go grab a random tidbit off the internet. So sometimes we will use Notebook just because I can put the guardrails on it. So
Nice.
yeah,
Oh,
I like that.
that's a great piece of advice. Thank you. Um, so in your agency, can you walk us through a project recently where AI has materially changed the outcome? Hopefully for the better, and sort of how you implemented it and the workflow you used.
No, it's top secret. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's not top secret. It's pretty. I think it's not like an SEO thing where like I'm not that SEO person either. Who's like I have secrets. There's no secrets. Um, but it is a little different than like your traditional SEO where you're kind of waiting on Google or an algorithm to, you know, index you and find you and then make a change and then maybe it helped, maybe it didn't 6 months down the road. AI seems to be pretty quick and it seems to react pretty quick. So when we make changes, this typical scope, I'm going to use like an LLM like ranking. Like I rank better on ChatGPT now for like best realtor or best HR. Like we have like, all these service companies that come to us and they're like, how do I improve my ranking on ChatGPT? But we got one realtor to the top of her market when anybody searches for like best or top whatever in the city and kind of the surrounding cities that she's the top realtor. And we do a little bit of like SEO kind of procedure to it, but it's a little different. The content that we write is a little different. We might have to add some schema markup around it. We might do some FAQs around it. We might just need to address some blog topics that haven't been written yet. So there's a lot of that owned media that you have to do first. You have to kind of build that base. And a lot of times it's about your about us section. And historically, when we talk about SEO, the about us page or something else on that sitemap in the about world is like, have fun with that. We don't really care about that. It's your service pages and it's your articles that matter. I found that LLMs really care about how many awards and how many reviews and how many other citations and other reputable backlinks you get from those sources. If you want to start ranking in ChatGPT, it's still an off-page kind of SEO. Like one helps the other. They're not totally mutually exclusive, but the way you do it is a little bit different. And we've also seen AI react pretty quickly when you're looking at the monitoring systems that we use. And I've tested a bunch of them. I've tested uh, Otterly and ZipTie. I can't think of any others right now, but there's a couple of them out there. And they're all kind of doing the same thing where they're looking at you versus your competitors and why. And you can even ask ChatGPT, why did you not rank me? Why did
Hmm.
you not rank Views as the top SEO company in Kansas? And we are now number one if you do that, but we weren't. And I had to ask, and this is why, and this is what we had to go fix, and this is what we had to go do. And some of it's a little bit of a off-page pay-to-play model, but we understand that marketing and advertising go into that algorithm as well. So that's a couple of case studies, like the realtor I mentioned. We've done it for ourselves. It really is kind of a on-page earned media meets off-page PR citations and reviews and awards. When you get all those stars aligned and you can rise above your competition, that's how you'll start seeing your analytics and your traffic from ChatGPT and Google and Claude and Perplexity start to inch up.
Very interesting. Well, congratulations on getting yourself and a client
Yeah,
up to some of the top ranks areas for your local geography. That's fantastic.
again, I've been doing this for 20 years. Back when SEO was a little bit more black hat than it is today. Um, that's the stuff that kept me up at night. That's asking why and figuring out why this works and this doesn't is kind of one of those things that keeps me up at night. So I had to do it for myself first, and then once I kind of figured it out, I could kind of help others.
So I have used ChatGPT and asked it, you know, help me prompt you to get this solution if I just can't come up with something that's good enough,
Yeah.
specific enough. And
Hmm.
and I've found that that works pretty well for some things where I just can't get it to do what I want. So I ask it, how do I make you do what I want? It's like, oh, you should ask me this way.
Yeah.
So
With AI agents, like if you're programming a voice agent to answer your phone, you want them to do certain things. I don't like writing out paragraphs and paragraphs of if this, then that, or whatever it might be. So I just go to like Gemini or ChatGPT and say, here's my AI agent rules. Make it way better. And it'll spit out a much better AI agent than I could ever just like vibe code myself.
yeah, it's fun to play them off each other like that. But that's the joy of having these tools to help us work better, faster, and
Yeah.
so
Yep.
fantastic.
I love it.
So as AI is changing, certainly monthly, sometimes weekly, and really sometimes daily. So, it's evolving really rapidly. What kind of challenges do you see for your agency and for your clients with how quickly things are changing? And what do you do in your agency to try to mitigate any problems that could come up from the fact that, a tool you're using today, it used to be you had a year or two before it was obsolete, and now, it might be much, much faster. How do you mitigate that kind of risk or challenge?
Good question. There's couple of things. I think we're always inquisitive. We're always testing. I get a lot of emails every day. Hey, LinkedIn or whatever it might be email. I'm a founder, CEO of this new AI tech. It's kind of like the tech boom, like the bubble. I don't want to miss the bubble. I kind of want to be a part of the AI bubble. So I'm always looking at everything. I spend more hours than I should admit looking at the next best thing. Is the grass greener somewhere else is one of those things that keeps me up at night. So I will I'll always be looking and seeing if there's something coming around the bend that I should be aware of. And I have a lot of smart clients that are also subscribing and looking to things, and they look at me as a thought leader or somebody who should at least know my job well enough to have dialogue and discourse on certain topics with them. I'm like, yeah, I kind of have to be fully up to speed as much as I can. You can't know everything, but
Yeah.
I try to be there. The other part is testing. I think testing is a huge part of AI. And one of the things that's so simple and weird, but people are not ready for AI. I'm ready for AI I mean, maybe in some ways I'm not, but when it comes to like a phone system, the question is, should your phone uh, system declare itself as an AI agent? Hello, thank you for calling Ring Fuse. My name's Lauren. I'm an AI agent here to help you. How can, it can kind of tell you up front, hey, you're working with an AI here, but talk to me like I'm a human. Or do you not, or do you just put that AI agent out there and say, you don't need to tell them that you're AI. Act like you're a human. They don't, some people will know, some people won't know. Does it really matter? I've had people on the AI side, I've tested it, where I'm like, I'm going to have my AI agent declare that it's AI so they know it's not a human. And they go, oh, I don't like talking to AI. Had I not told them it wasn't AI, they probably wouldn't have known. But I was trying to be upfront. And then I was like, okay, we tested that for a week or two. I've got my feedback. I've got my results from that test. let's swing it around and just be like, "Hey, this is Lauren. Thanks for calling. How can I help you?" People don't seem to care. So it's one of those things where I'm ready for it, but one of the biggest hurdles we have right now as an industry or as a marketing firm is I can do a lot of cool, fun things, but if it turns people off, they're not gonna buy it either. People gotta like meet AI and be ready for it before you give it to them.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. I have wondered that myself. How would I feel talking to a voice on the phone and then learn later it was AI versus a real person, and would that affect me? I mean, I work in the space, but I'll be honest, after working from home for years now, I appreciate the sort of human interaction too. And talking to somebody on the phone isn't nearly as nice as seeing somebody face to face, but it's a person and you get to talk to them and have a connection. And I still, as much as I enjoy using AI, I don't think I have a connection with it. So
No,
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
it's
ask
it's a
myself
spam
that too.
filter is all it is. It filters. I get the same. Your Google listing isn't set up on voice and maps, right? And I do this for a living, and I still get 3 spam phone calls a day. So I have to kind of like filter these. I have to filter these bots out of my life. So when somebody goes,
Mhm.
"Can I just talk to a human?" Then it transfers it to me. 'Cause, yeah, my phone rings. I'm glad it hasn't rung on this podcast, actually. It's in my pocket, but it hasn't rung yet, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
But wow. Well, to start kind of wrapping things up here, just what would you want people who might hire you to know about you and your firm?
We are a full service marketing agency minus a video production arm, but we don't really get into that, or we partner with video production, but that's really our last 10 years has really been SEO, Google Ads, media buying, and website development. That's really where I've spent a lot of my tenure and my career is doing those kind of 3 things, and AI is new for me. It's new for everybody. I don't think there is anybody who can say they've been doing it forever because it's only been around for so long, and one thing I would say if you wanna get into the AI world with me or with anybody is know that it's probably gonna be sold as like a software, that the whole SaaS model, software as a service. AI, I think, is gonna be sold, and kinda how we're doing it is software with a service, so you will have some fees, you will have some softwares, you will have some tools that you need to invest in, and there'll be API tokens, and there'll be things that, like, if you use it a lot, it will cost a little bit more, a penny a text or a penny an email kinda thing, like, but if you're using it and it's making you money, then you don't care about the penny. So there's the software side. And then if you hire an agency, they're the ones that are going to set everything up for you, manage it for you, kind of be that MailChimp or whatever service provider that you might need to do your emails and run your SMS campaigns or whatever it might be. So I don't know if I'm special in that regard, but I think that's what to expect if you were to call somebody like me and say, "Hey, I'm looking for some AI marketing help, and I don't know where to start. Is it software? Is it a service? Is it both?" I think it's both.
Cool. So we need a new acronym: software with a service. It's SWAS.
Yeah, we need something like
SWAS
that. Yeah, exactly.
doesn't have quite the same.
No, still working on it. Nothing's trademarked, nothing's copyrighted. We gotta figure it out though.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Kevin, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining us on the podcast and sharing your insights and some of your secret sauce. And um, it's
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the invite, Peter. It's been a blast.
go and we'll see you somewhere else on the internet.
I hope so.